Hello, good morning, children. So, in the previous class, we discussed about integers. What did we learn about that? What is the definition of an integer? And then afterwards, we moved on to rational numbers. Of course, we covered all natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, and then finally we have started with rational numbers. In that, we have defined rational number. Then afterwards, we have seen how to identify the rational number. How to identify the rational number. Just let me give you a quick review of it. So, any number which is expressed as p by q, where q not equal to 0 and p and q being integers, is called a rational number. Any number which can be expressed in the form of p by q, where q not equal to 0 and p and q are any integers, right? So, such a number is called a rational number, and rational numbers are represented by q. Usually they are represented by q. Okay, and how to identify the rational number? The other one what we have learned is how to identify the rational number. So, if suppose the number is given in the fraction form, very easy, because from the definition we have learned it. So, therefore 2 by 3, 3 by 4, 4 by 6, 5 by 8, 782 divided by 343, whatever it is. When a number is expressed in the form of a fraction, absolutely it is rational number. And now the problem is with when the numbers are given in the decimal form, how to identify that. Already we learnt it, but I wanted to make you people recollect these things. Right. One is in the decimal form, if it is a terminating decimal. Terminating means after the decimal point, if the digits stop, right, like 0.125, 0.2367. So it's stopping at 7. It's not continuing. So such decimal values are called terminating decimal values, and those form rational numbers. And now the point here is, if it is not terminating, can we just say that it is not rational? No. If it is not terminating, you have to check for one more point, that is whether the decimal, after the decimal point, whether the digits have a periodicity. Periodicity means whether they are repeating again like after a certain time. That means suppose if you take 0.333, after every single digit 3 is repeated. 0.125, 125, 125. So what is that? 125, all the three are repeated again. 0.125, 125, 125. So 125 is repeated. So like that, if there is a recurring, if suppose the decimal points are not terminating but are recurring, then those values are also called rational numbers. They are also called rational numbers. It is very common that whenever we define numbers or when we learn a new type of number system, then it is very much important for us to know that whether all the operators work on them or not. If so, what is the resultant? What is the resultant? Like suppose here, those are called properties of numbers. Those are called properties of numbers. Now let us, you in your earlier classes you have learnt about whole numbers and integers. But just to, before I go for rational numbers, I wanted to just remind you all or make you people recollect what you have learnt under every property, under whole numbers and integers, so that comparison will become very easy for us. Okay? Right. So, closure property. What do you mean by closure property? See, if certain set of numbers are given, if you are defining a particular operation, after performing the operation, whatever the result you are getting, whether it belongs to again the same numbers or not, that means the same system of numbers or not. Like natural numbers if you take, so you are adding 2 to 3, 2 plus 3, Yes. So when we are adding 2 to 3, the result is 5. 5 is a natural number. Right? So therefore you can say that closure property is obeyed by natural numbers for which operation? Addition. See, let us suppose you are subtracting 3 from 2. 2 minus 3. 2 minus 3 is minus 1. But in natural numbers you don't have negative numbers. So therefore subtraction is not closed for natural numbers under addition. Or else you can also say 2 minus 2. What is 2 minus 2? 0. Natural numbers start from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. Where is 0? There is no 0 in natural numbers. So therefore subtraction is not obeyed. Right? So that means closure property is not obeyed under subtraction for natural numbers. Likewise, now we are going to see closure property. Closure property means for any numbers, whatever you are taking, suppose you are taking A and B, right? Two numbers belonging to some group of numbers. If it is whole numbers, W, if it is integers, Z or I. In few books you can see I, in few books you can see a Z. Or if it is rational numbers, you will write Q. Okay, that means this is called belongs. Belongs. If A and B belong to, they belong to whole numbers. Okay, and that is like for all values of A and B. For all values. What is this meaning? What is the meaning of this? For all values. So these are the shortcuts you need to remember, the symbols. For all values of A and B belonging to whole numbers, if suppose A plus B also belongs to whole number, then we say that closure property is obeyed by the whole numbers under which operation? Under addition. Under addition. This is how we are going to write, right? Okay, let us see here. First we will take the general format. So how are you going to say? For all values of A and B, okay, for all values of A and B which is belonging to whole numbers, A plus B also belong to whole number. This is the general formula how you have to write. Now we are in class 8. You should know how to write this one. Let us see whether, let us verify it whether it is possible or not, taking an example. So taking an example, we'll take like whole numbers. Tell me any two whole numbers. I'll take 0 and 5. Okay, 0 and 5. 0 plus 5. 0 belongs to whole number, 5 belongs to whole number. 0 plus 5 is equal to 5. Of course, it belongs to whole number. Right, I want to take another one. 3 plus 4. 3 plus 4. So that means 3 belongs to whole number, 4 belongs to whole number, and the addition is 7 also belong to whole number. So your statement is right. Your statement is right. So whenever you are discussing these topics, now please remember in mind what are the numbers which are a set of whole numbers. Okay, each element of this particular set you have to remember. That means which numbers fall under whole numbers. The same if we are going to discuss in integers. In integers we can also take negative values. Why? Because integers are from minus infinity to plus infinity. It's a huge set. Okay, so now let us see how to write the general form for integers and check whether that form is right or not. Right? So for all values of A and B belonging to integers, let me write it as Z. Right? Then A plus B also belongs to Z. Then A plus B also belongs to Z. So for all values of A and B, whichever value, which values you have to take, you can't take here 2 by 3 as A. Why? Because 2 by 3 is not integer. Integer means which value you have to take? Minus 5, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 100, minus 1 lakh, or plus 1 lakh, or plus 275, or it can be 0. whatever it is. That means those numbers which fall under integers only you have to take here, not whichever number comes into your mind. Okay, so which case you are dealing, means which number set you are dealing with, that should be there in your mind always. So let us take an example here. Okay, let us take an example here. Let me take -5 plus 3. So my two integers are, one integer is -5, the other integer is 3, and I am doing it for what? Addition. So I am using the operator here as addition. What does it mean? It is a sign, negative number. But what is this? This is an operator. You are in class 8. You should know the difference. This is an operator. We are adding these two. Which two? -5 and 3. Okay, don't take this as -5 and plus 3 as another number. This is a positive number, this is a negative number, nothing is there in between. Yes? If that is the case, the whole mathematics. So there won't be anything in your brain if you think like that. Okay? So now this is -5, it's a negative number added to a positive number. This plus takes the form of the operator. You are operating on two numbers. You are doing something with two numbers. What are you doing? That something. That something is addition. Clear? Clear, children? Right. So -5 plus 3. What is the result? -2. Always, those who have any confusion in this, again I repeat this, you have two opposite signs here. Addition is going on. So this is plus 3 and this is -5. What is happening here? Addition is happening. So therefore, when two opposite signs are there, where the operation being addition, then subtraction takes place. So what is the difference between 5 and 3? 2. Which sign you have to give? You have to give the sign of the bigger number. What is the bigger? The larger number. Now forget this one. Don't say again, sir, ma'am, in number line we are taking -5 as the lowest one. Yes, -5, but what I am saying is here the magnitude. That means without taking the sign I am talking here. The larger number is 5. So whichever sign you have here, that sign will come here. Clear? That sign will come here. So -2, does it belong to integer? Yes. It belongs to integer. So you have taken two integers here. You have added those two. The result is also again an integer. So therefore it is closed. So closure property is obeyed by integers under addition. So therefore what we call it as that? It is closed. Whole numbers are closed under addition. Integers are closed under addition. So closure property is obeyed here. Here also it is obeyed. Now let us move on to the rational numbers. Okay? For all the rational numbers, let us take the, the form of fractions. Okay? So now, what is the general format? For all A and B belonging to rational numbers are represented by Q, then A plus B also belongs to rational number. Now our job is to verify whether it is true or not. If it is false, you have to say it does not belong to and it does not obey closure property. Or if it is true, then yes, it belongs to and it obeys closure property. Now let us take two rational numbers. Those who can, you can just pause the video. There is no need for you to listen to me. Take out your notebook, take any two rational numbers and start doing the summation. That means adding them and then see whether the result is going to be a rational number or not. Then you can come to your conclusion, right? So those who need my help can look here. So therefore let me take an example. In the example I will take A to be 1/2 and B to be 3/4. I have taken two rational numbers. 1/2 is one rational number, 3/4 is another rational number. Anyhow, all integers are also rational numbers. You know that, right? So if by verifying this also you can say that rational numbers, but the other special kind of rational numbers, whether they are obeying or not, that we are checking it here. Okay? So 1/2 plus 3/4. How to add? You all know very well, denominator, two different denominators. So you need to take LCM. See, when two numbers are given, where one is the multiple of the other, no need to find LCM separately. The bigger number, the larger number itself is the LCM of 2. So therefore this is 2. You can multiply and divide with 2 here. So therefore 2 into 1 is 2. Plus 3 into 1 is 3. So that is equal to 5 by 4. That is equal to 5 by 4. Is 5 by 4 a rational number? Yes. We said whichever number which can be expressed in the form of P by Q, where Q not equal to 0 is a rational number, undoubtedly. And nothing to be verified in this. You need to only verify whether Q is equal to 0 or not equal to 0. And the given values are integers or not. Is 5 an integer? Yes. 4 an integer? Yes. Finished. So 5 by 4 is a rational number. Thus that means you have taken two rational numbers here and added and you got a result, and that result is again a rational number. Thus what can you say that? Yes, rational numbers obey closure property under which operation? Addition. We are only checking for addition. Can we add two rational numbers in order that the result is also a rational number? This is what we are checking, very simple. Clear? So therefore we can say that yes, this is true, and rational numbers also obey closure property under addition. Right. Now let us come to subtraction. Same again, let us take whole numbers. For all values of A and B, I am repeatedly writing it because you people should know how to write it. Then A plus, we are doing it on subtraction. A minus B also belong to whole number. I just wrote how to write it as a statement. Okay. Now it is our job to verify whether it is true or not. Okay. So example. Let us see with an example. Okay. I will take A to be 3 and B to be 5. Okay. I will take A to be 3. So 3 minus 5. I think we have taken already 5 and 3. So I will take one more number. Okay. 3 minus 8 is equal to. So here again plus 3. We are subtracting it like the subtraction operation is taking on plus 8. So 8 is subtracted from 3. So operation here is subtraction. So what is the result of subtraction? 5. Which sign you have to take? The sign of the larger number. Here what do you have? 3 minus 8. So in front of this it is minus. 3 minus 8 is minus 5. So minus 5. If it is 8 minus 3, it is plus 5. It is 3 minus 8, it is something like 3 is added to 2 minus 8. It is ultimately, of course, again addition only with minus 8. Okay, so therefore minus 5. You got 3 minus 8 is equal to minus 5. Is minus 5 a whole number? The question here is minus 5 a whole number? Because 3 is a whole number, 8 is a whole number. Now 3 minus 8 is equal to minus 5. Is minus 5 a whole number? Whole numbers start from 0, 1, 2, 3, so on. There is no negative number in whole numbers. But we got the result to be negative. So what can we conclude? Yes. So these whole numbers are not closed under subtraction. So therefore A minus B does not belong to whole numbers. A minus B need not belong to whole numbers. It is not necessary that always for every number this is true. No. So this may or may not belong to whole numbers. So therefore this is false. It may or may not belong to whole numbers. So therefore whole numbers do not obey closure property under which operation? Under subtraction. Under subtraction. Now let us see for integers. So same statement. for all values of A and B belonging to integers, then A minus B also belong to integers. So you have to take the example, two integers here. Take any integer, A has minus 8 and B has minus 3. I will take two negative integers only. Okay. So A has minus 8. Right. And then my A is minus 8. Minus is the operator. And now B I have taken it as minus 6 suppose. So I have minus 8 and subtraction operator and then minus 6. So how to simplify this? We have a technique. Minus 8, minus of minus plus 6. And now two different signs. Addition is going on. So therefore subtraction is 2. Which sign you have to take? Whatever you have for the larger number, minus 2. So you took two negative integers here. So you subtracted one from the other and you got the result to be minus 2. Is minus 2 an integer? Yes, minus 2 is an integer because integers start from minus infinity and extend till plus infinity. You have all negative numbers fall under integers. All negative numbers fall under integers. So therefore this is true. This is true. That means under subtraction integers are closed. That means integers obey closure property under subtraction. Let us check with the rational numbers. Now the point is to check with the rational numbers. Now suppose, what is the way of writing here? For all values of A and B belonging to rational numbers Q, then A minus B also belong to rational number. This we are going to verify. Don't take it as true always. So here we verified and we said it is false. Right? And now here we are saying that it is whether true or false we are going to verify. So now take an example. So let me take minus 1 by 2 as A. Because see, minus 1 is P, 2 is Q. Q not equal to 0, minus 1 is an integer, 2 is an integer, therefore minus 1 by 2 is a rational number, right? Minus, and the other one I will take it as plus 1 by 3. So minus operator. So here both signs are same, so addition takes place here and the resulting sign will be minus. So I will take minus common and then add both. 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3. So here the LCM is 6. So minus 6 means here 3 plus 2, 5. So minus 5 by 6. Is minus 5 by 6 a rational number? Yes. Any number in the form of a fraction may be positive or negative, whatever it is, without the denominator being 0. Then all those numbers are rational numbers. So therefore this is also rational number. So what can we conclude? We can conclude that rational numbers obey closure property under subtraction. Means for this operator rational numbers are closed. We can say like this also. Closure property is obeyed or they are closed under subtraction. Okay, so under addition, whole numbers, integers, rational numbers, all are satisfying closure property. But under subtraction, you can see that whole numbers do not satisfy the closure property. Don't say that it does not satisfy means this is wrong. No, this is not wrong. This statement is false. That the difference is a whole number is false. The difference here is coming to be an integer. So don't say that, madam, then this is not possible in maths. No, it is possible in maths. This is maths only. But this number is an integer. It is not a whole number. But what did we say? That it is a whole number. So this is false. Did you get that one? So this is a whole number. That statement is wrong. Not this process. This is absolutely right. This is mathematics. What you have learnt till now, that only we are doing here. But the only thing is that we are concluding it that the resultant is a whole number always. No, it is not always. There are few cases where the result is not a whole number but it is an integer. Clear? So therefore we say that whole numbers are whole numbers do not obey closure property under subtraction. Which operator it is not closed? Under subtraction. Okay? Pause the video for a moment and please copy all these things. Right? So done. Now the next one. So we have seen addition as well as subtraction. Now we are going with multiplication. Multiplication for whole numbers, right? We are verifying closure property. Closure property means when you multiply two numbers, the result should also belong to the same numbers which we are considering, like whole numbers, right? Whole numbers, integers, as it is, like again rational numbers. We are going to verify in all these things whether these numbers are closed under this particular operation or not. So what is the general statement again? For all values of a and b belonging to whole numbers, a multiplied by b also belong to whole numbers. This is the statement. We are going to now check whether it is true or not. Whether it is true or not. So what example should I take? In my example I should have always a and b to be whole numbers. What whole numbers? Let me take 0 again. 0 into 1, which is equal to 0. Is 0 a whole number? Yes, 0 is a whole number. So let me take 3 into 4, which is 12. 3 is a whole number, 4 is a whole number, 12 is also a whole number. So whenever you are taking two whole numbers, the product of those numbers is always a whole number. So therefore, whole numbers obey closure property under multiplication. Right? Now let us verify with integers. For all values of a and b belonging to integers, a multiplied b also belongs to integers. We need to verify whether true or false. Take the example. I will take one negative number and one positive number. Let my a be minus 5 and b be 3. So minus 5 into 3. So minus 5 is an integer, 3 is an integer. The result is 5 3s are 15. You have plus 3 here, positive into negative, plus into minus is minus. So therefore, you got the result to be minus 15. Is minus 15 an integer? Yes, minus 15 as an integer. So now let me take other value. 0 into minus 8. So 0 multiplied by anything is 0. 0 multiplied by anything is 0. Is 0 an integer? Yes, 0 is an integer. So therefore, integers obey closure property under multiplication. So this is true. The statement is true. Now let us take rational numbers. Again I am writing for all values of a and b belonging to rational numbers. A multiplied by b also belongs to rational number. We need to check whether true or false. Take an example here. Okay, let me take 5 by 8 multiplied by minus 1 by 2. I am taking one positive rational number, the other negative rational number. Rational numbers are expressed in the form of fraction here. Right. So now multiplication, since it is multiplication, no need of LCM. You can directly multiply the numerators and multiply the denominator. So what is the result here? 5 into 1 is 5. You have plus 5 into minus 5. Plus into minus is minus. Divided by, what are the denominators? 8 and 2. 8 into 2, 16. So minus 5 by 16. Is it a rational number? Yes, it is a rational number. P is minus 5, Q is 16, Q is not equal to 0, therefore it is a rational number. So therefore what is that? It is true. Rational numbers obey closure property under multiplication. Clear? Right. Now division. Same statement again for all values of A and B belonging to whole numbers. A divided by B also belongs to whole numbers. Now we have to see whether it is possible or not. Okay, example I take. Let me write it is A as 1, or like A is equal to 4 and B is equal to 2, because I want to show both. So like sometimes it can be a whole number, sometimes it may not be whole number, right? A is equal to 4, B is equal to 2. So what is that you have? A divided by B. So 4 by 2, that is equal to, or rather I write like this, 4 divided by 2 is equal to 2. 2 is a whole number. If you take this example, you can say that yes, it is right. But that is why to verify you should always take such examples where there is a chance of like not obeying this particular case. I am coming to that. Now see, A is equal to, same thing, just to reverse it. A is equal to 2, B is equal to 4. So it is 2 divided by 4. What is that equal to? 2 by 4, which is equal to 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is not a whole number. 1 by 2 is a fraction. It is in the form of P by Q. Q not equal to 0. That means it's a rational number. This is right only. There is no wrong in this. But this is not a whole number. So therefore what we are saying here that the division, that means A by B is always a whole number, is wrong. This is wrong. False. So therefore they do not obey division. Right. Now coming to integers. Same thing again. For all values of A and B belonging to integers, A divided by B also belong to integer. Here itself you can say that 1 by 2 is not an integer, therefore it can be, because these two are integers. Let me take one more example here. Since we took a 1 here, so let me take another one. So let A be 4 and B be 0. Right. And then that is equal to 4 divided by 0. Anything divided by 0 is infinity. Is infinity an integer? Yes. Right. Now 0 divided by 4, if you take it as 0, is it an integer? Yes. Right. Now 1 divided by 2, which is equal to 1 by 2, it is not an integer. It is a rational number. So therefore what is happening here? Even integers do not obey closure property under division. Now let us see about the rational numbers. Let us see about the rational numbers.